This is part 2 of our portrait recipe for our face map. So let's start by reviewing what we did, how we got to this point. First, we turned our paper, we practiced drawing, and we created our oval for the basic face shape. When we turned our paper vertically, we started with our halfway line, and our eye line was first. And then we divided from the eye line to the chin in half, and that was our nose line, and we took that space, nose to chin, divided it in half, and that's our lip line. Then we established our hairline, which from the eye line to the top of the head is 1/2. Okay? And that's how we got to this point. Today, we are going to space our eyes. Remember, the face is 5 eyes across. Everything on the whole face is going to be in relationship to the eyes. The nose we're going to do today, the placement of the lips we're going to do today, the chin, the neck, the ears, and a hairline. So we're just setting up the remainder of our portrait features. Okay? Our face is 5 eyes wide, and we are going to start with the center of the space. So I'm going to the center line, and I'm starting with equal space on this line on either side. This is the space between my eyes. Then I have to check to make sure it is correct. Not too big, not too small. So I'm going to place my fingers here on my mark. That's 1 space, 2 spaces. That's the eye space, 3 spaces. That looks okay. 1 space back to the center for the other eye and to the right. And that will be fine. What's going to happen once I've checked my marks is I'm going to make the marks dark. And then I start in the center where the nose is, mark the left eye, and then to the edge. So you'll notice that my mark is a little bit wider. That's fine. That's going to be a little bit wider here on the oval, and that is just fine. If it's a lot wider, that means I need to come back and make this space smaller. Coming back to the center, I'll do the right eye. My fingers are the same. I'm not using the ruler. And again, the oval is going to become a little wider here at the cheek. Okay? All right. So now my eye, when I draw the eye, I'm drawing the round part of the eye, the colored part. The iris is first, and it's going to be centered on this line. And actually, we're drawing a circle shape bigger than the iris. If you feel your eye, you can feel that your eye is round. So if we could take our eye out of our head, it would be a sphere. If I'm looking at the eyelid shape starts here and comes up and cuts across this round shape. And our eye is a different shape at the front end by our nose and a different shape on the bottom. So the bottom eyelid is different than the top. The left eye is the same. It starts below this line and comes up and arcs over that round shape. Once I have that, now I'm going to come back and put in the colored part of our eye. If we're looking straight ahead, the iris is going to be circle-like, but it's going to touch the bottom of the eye and be covered up by the top of the eyelid. Okay? This part is going to become next week we're going to talk about how to shade that. So we're going to leave it just like this for now. The longest part of our nose touches this line. If we take our fingers and hold it here at the bottom of our nose, it makes like a V, but not a sharp V, like a flat V. So this is the part of our nose that's in the middle. Everything on the face lines up with the eye. So these are not tears. This is how wide the nose is. When we draw the nostrils, we don't see a circle shape. So I want you to think about an apple seed. Okay, it's small. It's like a little loop. The nostril, or the side part of the nose, is here. If you feel the tip of your nose, there's a circle shape there. So we're going to put a circle shape there. That's what's going to help us with our shading next week. Our nose comes up like a triangle. It never actually makes a point, but this is the bridge of our nose, and that comes up into our eyebrow bone. So let's go ahead and put the eyebrow bone in. Okay? The mouth is 3 parts. It is this part between our upper lip and our nose. It is our upper lip and our lower lip. So the first thing we need to do is divide this into 3 equal parts. So I'm going to check that. 1, 2, 3. Those are pretty equal. On this part, people either have a rounded part or a sharp part. Let's do a rounded part today. And before we can draw the upper lip, we have to know how wide the mouth is. This is where our eyes come into play again. So the mouth, the lips, the upper lip is actually longer, is going to come out this long. So starting up here, I'm going to start here in the center. And it's going to come out to the middle of the eye. So let's go ahead and we'll just put a little dot there for now. We're going to change that next week. That gives us an anchor point. Okay, and it's going to come out. It is not wide all the way out here, but it comes out there. Now, the bottom lip, the most full part of the bottom lip is in the center. And we're going to start with an oval, and the oval is going to be about as big, as wide as the nose, and the bottom lip is a different shape than the upper lip. Okay, and then we have 1 finger space. If you put your finger up to your face, you'll feel that there is a 1 finger space between here, and our chin is the next shape. Okay, all right, so there's our chin. Let's go ahead and finish up this part of the face. Again, we're coming back to the outside of the eyes, and we're coming down, and that's going to give us how wide is the neck. Our neck lines up with the outside of the eyes. Okay, now next week we'll get into the shoulders. And the next part of our face that we're going to put on is the ears. The ears are going to come right here between the eye line and the nose line, so they fit in this space. And the ear, for now, we're just going to do a very basic shape. It's like a backwards capital C. It's not like an open car door. And it's slanted a little bit. Not exactly at a 45-degree angle, but it's not straight, it's slanted. On the right side, it's slanted this way. On the left side, it's slanted that way. All right? And lastly, we established our hairline last time. Okay? Sometimes when people start to draw their portrait, they want to start the hair at the top of the head. That is not the case. So we're going to look at the top of the eyebrow and we're going to establish a part. Okay, so today, remember, we're just drawing a generic face. Okay, we're not drawing any one specific person. We're going to come up to where the hair starts and we're going to follow the line across the face. Remember, our face is not flat like a piece of paper, and it's going to come down here by the ear. Then we're going to come back to the part and draw it down the other side. Okay, now our part is going to go all the way back to the top of the head, and hair is fluffy. It's not going to be stuck to this edge where we started with our oval. So it's going to come up off that oval and come around. It's going to come up off that oval and come around. And we'll draw that behind the ears. Okay. The last thing that I would like you to do today is our ears are designed to catch sound. So we put in the outside shape, and we'll add more details next time, but there's one detail I want you to add today, and that is the part of the ear that acts as a backstop. And on some people it's shaped like this, and on some people it's shaped more like a triangle, and that's about halfway here in the ear, halfway in the middle of the ear from top to bottom. And that acts as a backstop, so it helps to catch the sound. And we would want those to be in about the same place. This one's a little low compared to the other one. Okay. And so that is as far as we're going to get for today. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your drawing from last time, and we're going to start with adding or dividing the space into 5 eyes wide. It must be equal, and we need to start in the center. So this is space number 1. Space number 2, space number 3. The other eye is space number 4, and this is space number 5. If that is not equal and correct, you can see from here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That must be equal. Okay, the next thing is we're drawing the circle shape here. So if I'm drawing this, the circle shape is going to cross that line, but it's bigger than the eye. It's not the colored part, it's the whole eye. Okay, so that's our next step. Then we're drawing the eyelids, and the eyelids are 2 different shapes, so be sure you draw them 2 different ways. The nose, the longest parts of the nose touches the nose line, and we use the eye, the inside of the eye, to determine how wide the nostrils are. Remember, for our nostrils, we're not drawing open circles. We're drawing kind of an apple seed or a loop shape, or even a line with no loop. Our mouth is our next step. Remember, it is 3 equal parts. 1, 2, 3. The top part starts here in the center. It's kind of like a stretched out M. And again, we use our eye to line up to determine how wide the top lip is. The center of the eye. Okay, and then the bottom of lip is more full. So we're drawing the oval, and then we're turning that up at the corners because our upper lip and our lower lip are 2 different shapes. Then we have our finger space and our chin. For now, you may draw a circle or an oval there. And our last step for the face itself is the neck. So we're coming back to the outside edge of the eye, and that will give us our neck. And lastly, we had our ears. The ears go between the eye line and the nose line. They're similar in shape to a capital C, but turned on an angle. And for today, we're just drawing the outside shell. And then we added the little backstop that helps catch sound. I do want you to add the hairline. We started above the eyebrow to find a part and draw that. Our head is not flat, so the line is going to come around the edge. And then we'll take the part up and follow that on around. Okay, so finish your face map and turn that in for part 2 of your portrait. Next time, we will add more detail to the eyes, to the ears, and we'll talk about how to shade different parts of the face.